Overthinking is a common problem everyone faces in today's fast and advancing world. We are part of the information society where information is found easily at our fingertips, and we highly rely on even tiny details of everything for decision making in any situations of our lives. We are in such a world where we need everything perfect, everything predictable, and everything accurate. Having abdominal pain? What we do? We immediately grab our phones to check the symptoms, right? Hence, with all these resources, our minds will continuously try to find the best, perfect decision in everything we do. But at last, the thoughts by itself will drain, make us confused, exaggerates things, and trap us. In bad cases, it also reduces our confidence in making decisions and being proactive. It may also indirectly cause procrastination and avoidance in solving important issues in day to day situations. It makes us stuck in between multiple thoughts. Is it bad? Well, maybe not if we aim for a smooth decision making, but maybe yes if it is in a way that the thought process by itself becomes unfavorable to our mental health and peace of mind. The actual problem of overthinking, as the word suggests, is over. We are overly drained into thoughts that most of the times we find it so difficult to conclude or decide. Instead, we magnify them. In most of the cases, we fail to smoothly carry our thoughts and make them favorable in a way that it increases confidence and peace in us. This is because the process is internal, that they rarely have an emotional outlet, and the way of thinking is pessimistic. So, how are we going to stop overthinking? Before finding the solution, we need to understand two important factors: the source and the importance. First, we need to find out where do we overthink. We overthink mostly in these two situations. Number one is what if types, and number two is what to do and how to do types. What if types are situations where we tend to worry about future. Say for example, you have given an interview and recalling it again and again of what the interviewer had understood about yourself and if you will get selected or not. This kind of thinking will distract you from focusing on the present task. What to do and how to do types or situations where you find so difficult to decide or conclude in certain situations. Say, for example, you are finding it so difficult to reply to someone, imagining what that person thinks or if your reply will be right or not. In this kind of thinking, you become more socially anxious and find it very difficult to mingle with the people. We all come at least in one of these categories, right? Now, we all can think that some of our worries are actually serious. On one side, we can't simply say that our overthinking is unnecessary. Of course, we need to value our feelings rather than simply discarding them. But which one? What kind of worries should we prioritize? For the what if type, we should have less importance because these thoughts are simply unwanted worries which drains us and it needs to be released by the 3B mantra. Whereas for the what to do and how to do type, we need to process these thoughts as it benefits us to take a positive action by the treaty with mind exercise. Let us learn deep about these two solutions. In case of what if type of overthinking, the solution is very simple. Just release it. What we need to understand is worrying about the future events has no use and meaning to us. Most of such thoughts are just illusions and reflections of our inner fears and vulnerabilities. Just think, Are our worries and thoughts going to change the situations of the future? Say for example, if you are worried about result of the job interview, you are somewhat aware of what may happen. Either you would be selected or rejected. So will worrying about the issues change the result? No. What you can currently do is just wait for the positive result. Therefore, we should start trusting the process, focus in the present, believe our intuition, and most importantly, be courageous enough to face the uncertain future. Just affirm this 3B mantra to yourself. Here it goes: be present, be courageous, and be you. Initially, it will be difficult, but what we need to understand is worrying about future is not important, but how we are going to face it is that very important. So, start to face the future by affirming this 3B mantra. Now, coming to what to do and how to do types of overthinking. In this case, we need to process our thoughts. We need to think and decide, but we should not take time dwelling in these thoughts. We need to do it fast. In simple words, avoid overthinking and embrace fast thinking. Here is an easy and fun exercise called Treaty with the Mind. It has two funny steps. Step 1: Name your mind. In this step, you need to imagine your mind as a friend who is more concerned and protective of you. Your friend will always warn you and make sure that you are right by your actions in your surroundings. Your friend makes sure that you are safe and comfortable by giving you so many thoughts and scenarios to ponder over the situations. Now, name your friend. Say, for example, here is Alice, an overthinker. Now, she is naming her mind as Bob. Following this step will be very useful for us. It makes sure that we are valuing our thoughts and feelings so that we don't judge ourselves as being abnormal and overthinking. It will also lead us to smooth decision making. Rather than feeling that our mind is disturbing us by overthinking, now in this step we become friends to our mind. Now, coming to step 2: making a treaty with your mind. Whenever your mind comes with thoughts, talk to it. Now, whenever Bob comes, Alice needs to have a treaty with Bob. Here is the treaty between Alice and Bob. Alice says these three agreements to Bob. Number 1: make the thinking process fast. Number 2: conclude fast. And number 3: once decided, don't come again. Whatever the consequences, let us face it. And Bob says yes to it. Now, Alice and her mind are peaceful because she embraced her mind and trained it for her own good. In the same way, even we can have a fun task with our minds by naming it and having agreement that the process should be fast and decisive. Therefore, when we follow this 3B mantra and treaty with mind exercise, we and our minds will be peaceful and integral by working with each other for a common goal. These tasks will allow us to listen to our minds as well as train our minds to be proactive in our atmosphere. Let us follow this and be benefited. Happy well being for all of us.